Why aren't funerals more of a party? Aside from the fact that you just lost somebody, it's supposed to be a celebration of the person's life that they just had. So, you think you would ever see like a funeral with like music?
No. I think that's kind of pushing it. I mean,
DJ.
that guy's still fucking dead. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's a time to celebrate and party.
Yeah, I
You know,
guess.
like everyone's getting hammered. There's like a midnight buffet and shit. Like,
But you know what? I would want that
Like a
though.
what? Fuck.
And take 2 of episode 92 of Beyond the Bench, the podcast about everything and absolutely nothing, with your boys Josh, with your boy Justin.
Hello.
We are here.
Hello.
Is it me you're looking for?
No, you always do that. But I was singing the Adele song. Hello.
Isn't that the Adele song?
No.
What's Is It Me You're Looking For? Is it me you're looking for? No, what's the other one you were singing before? The Shania Twain. From this moment on. Is that on Quest to Camelot? Remember that movie?
No.
Quest to Camelot, dude. All I know is in that movie there was a song from Celine Dion. And there was the Shania Twain song too. Shania Twain was present.
How come Disney has the best fucking artists, man?
Disney has the best soundtracks, dude.
Yeah.
They're so mental.
They're so mental.
Phil Collins, dude.
Yeah,
they get the
best one.
best
Tarzan
people.
is the best one. Tarzan and Mulan.
You know why-
Hercules is up there too.
Yeah, Hercules is sick. You know what I think that is though? Is because they're very like not controversial Disney movies. Aside from the dicks and vaginas they post like subtly in the background,
Yeah, of course.
they're not controversial. So it's like you can put your name to it and know that nobody's gonna get pissed off at you for being part of it.
Like artists for the artists.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I
They're
guess back
also-
then.
Yeah, but they're also Disney's huge. It's just good for them.
Plus they must get a fucking shit ton of money.
Yeah, like all kinds.
How much do you think they make, dude? A person this is starting strong. How much do you think they make artists who make songs for movies?
1 million billion. No.
Yeah.
I actually googled it yesterday, by the way, and the answer went up to 10 billion billion. But we'll get into that after.
For the
For the answer.
the question.
Yeah, the question.
They're just multiplying.
It's no more a million billion. No, it's 10 billion billion. But it's a lot, probably. Probably, like, I don't know if I want to say in the millions, but I feel like anything, it sounds like a high number because fuck, getting paid millions of dollars to make one soundtrack, it's not even realistic.
Well, if you look at rappers, some of them, they always say like I get 50 bands for the verse. They get like $50,000 just to say like a couple of lines. But you can decide, like if you're Drake, you can fucking charge a shit ton of money.
Yeah, Celine Dion, Shania Twain, Phil Collins, they probably charge a lot of money.
Exactly. Before we continue this conversation, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit the subscribe, hit the like. Tell all your friends to do the same. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, give us a 5-star review. Give us a comment on both platforms. And maybe we'll shout you out in the future for your comment. Yeah, but like rappers decide what they charge. Like if you're a Drake level artist, like I know he's been known to like charge $250,000 for a verse, dude.
It's crazy.
Is that fucked up?
What if his verse fucking sucks? Then what?
Yeah,
Does he have to redo it until
one?
Yeah.
But then two, like, don't you think that removes the whole aspect of enjoying music after? Like, you can't go enjoy music with all these different other people in the world who can make music with you because they can't afford to make music with you.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure there are artists that he wants to work with that he'll like either do it for free or take a like serious pay cut, Yeah,
somebody who would be considered like above him or someone who's like his idol,
Yeah, or someone that like maybe he wants to help out or like could be anything, Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Spinning the mic.
What the fuck? That was a 360. That was a 360 on that one.
Somebody he wants to help out, what, like a special needs kid?
No, but
or make a wish.
Yeah, maybe like some up and coming rapper that he really likes or wants to help out. But I'll come on in your songs and I'll do a verse.
Is that still a thing? Make a wish. Was that ever a thing?
Make the Make a Wish Foundation. Yeah.
How do you get chosen?
I don't even know exactly what it is.
No, I know you have to have like cancer or something.
How do you get chosen?
Andrew is looking at me like, what do you mean? How do you get chosen? No, I mean,
but like, what exactly is the Make a Wish Foundation? Like, what do they do? We're gonna get into that first before we sound like fucking idiots. Is it just for cancer?
Thanks for everything.
Everything.
Tommy's got a really bad cold. Make a Wish creates life-changing wishes for children with critical illnesses. We are on a quest to bring every eligible child's wish to life because a wish is an integral part of a child's treatment journey. Research shows children who have wishes granted can build the physical and emotional strength they need to fight a critical illness. What?
It's mental.
Research shows. That means like statistics back up the fact that if you have your wish granted, you might have a better chance of survival.
Yeah, because that actually makes a lot of sense. You're happier.
Since 1983, Make-A-Wish Canada has granted over 35,000 wishes across the country, over 1,000 last year alone. So this is what I'm saying. So since 1983, there's more than 35,000 kids who've had critical illnesses. Right? Yeah. So how the fuck, who's the guy who has to choose?
I don't know.
Tammy's cancer's not bad enough, sorry.
No. Yeah, but I also think about it like, I mean, the wish has to somewhat be realistic, They're fucking kids. Like they
I
probably
want to fly.
yeah, it's like I wish for like a fucking unicorn. It's like I can't give you that, you know. So like, what do you like? How do you tell the kid no? Like, is there a list of things that you could ask for? Do they have to check out what they want?
Who sends in the request? Because it's not the kid, it's the parents for sure.
No, the kid.
Well, the kid makes the wish, but the parent is the one who makes the request. Like the kid doesn't.
He's not filling out the fucking the sheet.
Contact us at makeawish.foundation.com. You know, like the parents are making the request.
Yeah.
So then at that point, like your kid's wish is stupid if it's a stupid wish. You know, I want to drive a train. Like you're not gonna do it.
No.
Man.
They probably ask the kid like what he wants or like what his wish was. Like say he has like 3 or 4 wishes, and then they'll take like the most realistic one. That's
I
what
feel
would
like the only wishes. I'm trying to think about it now. The only wishes that could technically be like feasible to grant would be like meeting somebody.
Yeah.
Because what else can you really wish for that they would be able? Like I don't know.
Going to an event, like going to see an artist, going to a sporting event.
I feel like that falls under the meeting people category though.
No, because you're not meeting them. Like the person's not gonna come to the hospital and see you. You're gonna go out and like say watch a Habs game or like I don't know go to a concert and things like that. You know.
Do they ever do that in hockey? I don't think I've ever seen that in soccer. Like bring a kid out. Or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Of course. I got so confused there. I was like, why are you saying 2 sports? But like I understood. I was like, that was such a mind fuck. Holy shit. Do that in hockey because in soccer they don't do it. But yeah, they do it. There's a lot of that. And for hockey, a lot of it. Yeah.
Like bringing out kids.
Yeah, there's a foundation. The Habs have a foundation for that too.
What would your wish be?
As a kid?
Let's get morbid. If you were on your fucking, not on wood, Jesus Christ, if you were on your deathbed.
This is fake wood.
What would your wish be to the Make-A-Wish Foundation?
Okay, am I a kid or am I 30?
Fuck, that's a good question. Okay, do both.
If I was a kid, my Make-A-Wish probably would have been to meet all the whole Canadians. As a kid,
yeah,
that's what I would want to meet the Habs.
That's not a bad wish. If you were 30,
if I was 30, like I don't know, just give me like all kinds of money, fuck or something, because like that's pretty much what I need. I'm gonna get through this cancer. Nah, I need to be rich after. So like, let's go.
I think we've just determined one of the criteria by which they choose who gets their wish granted. You have to be below a certain age, because if some 25-year-old guy's like, yeah, give me a bunch of hookers.
Yeah, I'll take 4 hookers and like a gram of blow. That's my.
Justin, you could have any wish granted. I want to fuck J-Lo. Get her over here right now. Like. It's not happening.
No, but unless you would say, yeah, maybe she feels so bad. She'd be like, okay.
Mine, I don't know why I've thought about this. I always have very morbid thoughts like this. But if I were on my deathbed and I was able to have a wish from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, my wish would be to get on Joe Rogan. That's like, I feel like that's something that they could make happen. 1.
Yeah. And
2, it would be like, I don't know. I feel like it would be life fulfilling for me anyway, because I really like Joe Rogan on it.
Yeah, okay, but that's fair enough. But I feel like, I mean, are you even capable of being on a podcast?
Yeah, I guess. So look, we're assuming like I'm in a state where like I'm gonna die, but I can still like move around. I'm the same kid who can like fucking go throw a ball at like a baseball game or whatever, throw the opening pitch.
Okay, so I want to change my answer to like maybe practice with like the Canadians, because I can't play a game, but I would practice with them. That'd be crazy. That's
I love how
fun.
everything that has to do with wishes for Justin is always about the Habs.
Yeah. I love the Habs, man.
I've always thought about that though. You ever have fucking weird thoughts like that where like, what if I fucking get into like a car accident tomorrow?
Bro, I have those thoughts all the time. Sometimes I even wonder, this might sound kind of fucked up, but I wonder like out of all our friends, like who's gonna die first?
I have that thought all the time.
Yeah,
I know what fucked up thought I have.
This is fucked.
Is how am I gonna die?
Yeah.
And if I die, who's gonna come to my funeral?
Well, everyone's gonna come to your funeral.
You know, no, but like, will they come? Like, this is all fucked up thoughts. Okay, and I'm very well aware that how fucked up these thoughts are. But like, who's gonna come to the funeral? Are they gonna cry? Like, how long are people gonna mourn? You know, like fucked up shit like that.
Imagine your funeral, everyone's like, oh Jesus Christ, like I want to get the fuck out of here. It's 2 hours I'm here, man. Like, fuck.
This fucking guy.
No, I don't know. I feel like having these dark thoughts are like normal. I feel like everyone has this.
Yeah, it's
fucked up though. I don't know why we think that way.
Why we think that they're fucked up?
No, why we think them in the first place.
I think because everyone's just aware of their own mortality. So you know that you're going to die eventually. And you know that with experience, everything that comes after death in terms of the people who are left to deal with it. Yeah. So you wonder, I guess, naturally, when am I going to die? How am I going to die? And then like, are the people who love me still going to love me after I'm dead, you know?
Yeah. You know where the chalet last year at Tremblant?
The chalet?
The chalet.
Oh, the chalet.
Yeah. Did I say chalet?
I don't know. I heard. You know, last year we were with Shelly last year. I was like, what?
Actually, it was this weekend. Last year, it's exactly a year.
Okay,
that's number 1. And number 2, I remember Leo was like so fucking drunk at one point, and he comes to me and he's like, "Bro, he's like, it's just like I think about sometimes like what I would do if you would die." He's like, "I would just be so sad." And I was like, "Bro, what the fuck are you saying, man? Like it's fucking 1 a.m. and we're both hammering after you have to hear this shit." And he's like, "I don't know, man. I just get these thoughts sometimes." And I was like, "Bro, this is so fucked." But like, I think the same thing. And I never thought that somebody would think the same. I was like, fuck it. Like, obviously, we don't want any of our friends to die. But it's like, I don't know. It's fucking scary to me, man. It's like, first of all, to me, I think about who first, what age, you know, like, are we all gonna be like old and grow together and like, okay, at least we're 80, 85 and we just start going one by one, okay, or like, is someone gonna like in like a year or two? That shit fucking freaks me out. Even talking about this, I feel very uncomfortable. Right now.
I know it's fucked, but I think everybody does have these thoughts though, especially the how you're gonna die, like all that shit. But to your point of Leo saying fucking weird things when he's drunk, I always have a very distinct memory of him. A New Year's chalet that we did. I just remember it was like 3:30 in the morning or like 4 in the morning, and I had to get up to take a piss. I was sleeping. I walk upstairs and he's at the kitchen table sitting with my brother chugging beers at 4 in the morning. And I walked in and I heard only the part of the conversation where Leo says, dude, think about how many people have lived on this planet. They've all died. And maybe they loved their family just as much as you. Maybe more. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about at 4 in the morning over a can of beer? What the fuck is happening in this conversation? But to go back to the point of
that's so Leo.
To go to the point of the weird thoughts, my thought always goes to the funeral and like how people are going to deal with it after. But then I was thinking the other day, like, how would you want your funeral to be? Like, do you, like, you know, sometimes you go to a funeral and you're like, I'm not down because it's so somber. Yeah. Everyone's like sad and stuff. Yeah. I wouldn't want that as my funeral. And why aren't funerals more of a party? Okay. I know why, but like...
Well, I know what you mean. Okay, first of all, so I don't know about your dad's side, but your mom's side, Italians, obviously it's like everyone goes in black, it's dark, it's sad. There's no like fucking celebration. My French side, it's different. You know, it's more like open. The energy is like happier because you're celebrating more the person's life instead of like mourning his death, if that makes any sense, you know?
Yeah.
So when I go to my French side, it's like everyone's like not happy, but like they're not fucking just in the corner crying and shit. They're like, everyone's talking about like that person's life and how they affected them in a good way. It's I don't know, it's so different. Italians just do everything like
lame.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
It's just, why is it so fucking like formal, man? Like, why does it have to be so fucking depressing? I get it, obviously, especially if it's someone that was young or something tragic or whatever. But like overall, it's just like so fucking depressing. Yeah,
like you go there sometimes, and even at those funerals where people are a lot more serious about it, sometimes when you meet somebody, you're always like, hey, how's it going? And so I always say that by instinct sometimes, and I'm like, obviously it's going bad. Like, why am I asking that question? You know? Yeah. But I feel so weird at those funerals when you're talking to somebody and you actually make a joke or you want to laugh about something because nobody's laughing or nobody's really like not enjoying themselves, but like not being depressed, you know? And then I've been to other funerals, like you said, different cultures, that like whatever, French Quebecers or like even on my Latino side. Yeah. It's different, man. People are chilling. People are having a good time. Like there's drinks and shit. You know what I mean? Like it's fucked. And so I was thinking, why aren't funerals... Aside from the fact that you just lost somebody, it's supposed to be a celebration of life, right? Yeah. It's supposed to be a celebration of the person's life that they just had. So, you know, you think you would ever see like a funeral with like music?
No. I think that's kind of pushing it. I mean, that guy's still fucking dead. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's a time to celebrate and party.
Yeah,
you know, like everyone's getting hammered. There's like a midnight buffet and shit. Like,
but you know what? I would want that like though. I would want that, man. I wouldn't want people to just be crying the entire fucking day. As much as I was saying before, I wonder if people are gonna be sad. I wouldn't want people to cry the entire time. Like, I would be cool with people being like, you know what, man, throw a fucking party. I'm just there chilling, like on the in the casket, and everyone's just like partying around me. You know what I mean? No. Take a body shot off a corpse.
Yeah. just put a joint in my mouth too, man. Let's go. I'm in the casket.
But even the whole like suit thing for the people when you're in the casket, why a suit and not just like the way you would normally dress?
Oh, if I die, just bury me in like fucking joggers.
Yeah. If there's an afterlife, I want to be fucking comfortable.
Yeah. Like put me in the Beyond the Venturi and let's go. You know, like that I'm down. My favorite joggers, my Vans. Put it maybe joint in here with a jar of Nutella, bro, and just bury me, and that's all I need, man.
That's 100%. If you ever die in your casket, I'm putting a jar of Nutella. That's 100. There's gonna be like 17 jars of Nutella in that casket. Yeah. Everyone's gonna bring one.
Yeah.
That must be a shitty job. The guy who has to dress the corpse of the dead person. Like, how do you possibly get into that career path?
I don't know, man. Either you're sick or you're just desperate for a job.
You're like an undercover, what's necromancer? What's the word when you like to fuck?
Necrophiliac.
A necrophiliac.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I mean, did I get that right?
I think that's what it is. Yeah, you like to fuck dead bodies.
That's rare.
That's such a weird fucking thing. Like, maybe you're studying for medical exam or something, and then out of nowhere, yeah, let me just work in a fucking morgue.
Maybe they pay really well.
Probably, dude.
The funeral industry makes a shitload of money, just in general.
100%. You know what? I'm gonna fucking look right now.
Bro, you know it's like $10,000 for a fucking casket.
What are they called? A person who works in the morgue, or a mortician.
Oh, like Morticia, like the girl from the Addams Family. Oh my god, that's why her name's Morticia. Jesus Christ, man. That's crazy. What a crazy day.
It's a lot, but it's less than you would probably think.
What is the title? Like, mortician, but what's their job description?
A mortician prepares deceased people for wakes, funerals, and internment by embalming, dressing, cosmetically enhancing, and casketing them.
Makeup.
In smaller funeral homes, as a funeral director, it's you who does the job of a mortician. Well, that's lame. You don't have to fucking go to school for it. You're just a guy who dresses up dead people. Okay, so how much do you think they make?
I don't know, like probably like 60K.
93,000.
Okay.
It's pretty good, dude.
Okay.
That's a fucking decent living.
Yeah.
Like, you think you have to have some like medical degree?
You're just dressing a corpse.
You're just some makeup artist from Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm using the new come back to life bronzer.
Look at Instagram live on a fucking body. That's crazy.
Oh man.
Even for 90,000, like it's not even actually worth it.
But this is what we always say, like,
You get immune to it though. I mean, at a certain point, you're just going to work. It's just another
fucking dead penis in front of you.
Yeah.
I think they shrivel up.
Ooh.
Just like fucking, you know, like when you're in the cold water and your dick just becomes like a little trumpet.
Yeah.
Like that. But like your whole body's cold because you're dead.
Your whole body is cold.
Yeah. You turn cold. Is it true that you piss and you shit at the moment of death? I always hear that, but like I've never actually understood if that was true.
Even if you get a heart attack, let's say, for example?
Yeah. Like apparently the moment you die, you piss and like your whole body just lets go of everything because I'm thinking about the logic behind it. It can't like hold anything in anymore. There's no muscles contracting to hold it.
Everything's just loose.
Yeah, I think so.
It's just like a fucking massive heavy dump though.
8 fascinating but quite creepy things that happen to your body when you die.
Who is this the source?
Morbid curiosity satisfied. This is a website for us.
Morbid curiosity?
Satisfied.com?
.com?
No. Like that's the part of the article's name.
Oh, what a fucking website.
Your hair and nails look like they grow. Okay, yeah. That's because like as your body decomposes, your nails and your hair stays the same length as it was when you died. So everything gets smaller, but your hair stays the same length, so it like continues to grow, even your nails.
That's fucked.
That's why when you dig up like mummies and shit like that,
Yeah.
unless they're like fully skeletons, like their nails and their hair is the thing that
Ooh.
takes the longest to decompose.
That is so twisted.
I just see this. Like, your body gets rock hard. I didn't see your body. You just get a fucking hard on, dude. Boom.
Your cock gets rock hard.
Can you imagine, dude?
Yo.
Your body gets rock hard. Rigor mortis. Or stiffening of the muscles after death. 3, you may poop and pee your pants.
May. So it's not for sure.
So
then.
while rigor mortis sets in eventually, as soon as you die, every muscle in your body relaxes. That includes the sphincters that are in charge of keeping your bladder and bowels on lockdown. So when you die, everything just fucking loosens up.
You lose your gains, I'm assuming you do when you die.
Oh, this is nice. Your wrinkles disappear immediately.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Jesus, everybody was looking for Botox. Just go die.
Yeah, just die.
Just die, and you won't have
You want to have
wrinkles.
clear, beautiful skin. Just die.
Since your muscles lose all tension, the moment you die, they stop pulling on your forehead, creating those worry lines you hate so much. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, because you're not stressed. You're dead, right? So.
You may moan and groan.
Like during or like you can't moan after death.
Just because you're dead doesn't mean there isn't any air in your lungs. If someone applies some force to your chest, some air can come out your windpipe. Dude, can you imagine?
I would freak out. I'd be like, whoa, I would just start lacing the body. I'd like, I'd be so confused.
You know, like when you pop up in front of the casket to give like your prayer or whatever the fuck, are you pretending you're praying? Can you just imagine standing there?
That's what it is. That pretend you're praying. That's what it is.
Yeah. Some of your body parts keep living.
Like?
For a little while, at least, as soon as you stop breathing and your heart stops beating, your organs start. That sounds like a lyric of a song. As soon as you stop breathing and your heart stops beating, your organs start to die. However, all the cells don't die immediately, and there's a window that allows for you to be resuscitated and remain intact. Yeah, I guess that's why you can get fucking CPR. Your skin gets stained.
With what?
Fake blood pools around bodies. Oh, yeah. It's like, I think that's what causes like old people to have those splotches in their face and shit too.
What's going on tonight?
Your gut bacteria goes bonkers. I don't even know what the fuck that means. It doesn't even give a description. It just says it.
Your gut. Oh my god, if I die, my insides. Holy fuck.
It's fucked. Just one last thing on this topic before we get off the fucking morbidity of
let's
death.
stop talking about death because it's fucking stressing me out.
When I was younger, I remember I used to think like, fuck, if I were to die soon, I used to have really bad acne. You know, I'm like, fuck, people are gonna come to my funeral and they're just gonna look at me and I have fucking pimples everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think anybody gives a flying fuck about your pimples when you're in your casket. You know what I mean? It's not one of those.
I went to this art show yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can catch it on camera, but we got a new Joe Rogan frame from the art show from Bad Like Yaz.
Mental. It's so fucking nice.
I was walking around and I'm like, this is. I feel like this is what art shows are now in 2021. It's like a lot more street art than the art exhibits. They still exist, I think, but I think the street art exhibits are a lot more prominent now than the
Those like prestigious ones there?
Yeah, this signifies the downfall and the somber attitude of man in the 1700s, you know, like
Just
one
like
of those.
it's like a blob of paint.
Yeah.
Those exist, but like just maybe not for us. People.
Have you ever gone to one, like an actual art exhibit?
No, actually.
You never been to like an actual one? Or you're just like a street art one?
Like none. I mean, I've been to like museums and I've been like, but not to like an actual exhibit where people are standing by their painting explaining to me.
That's what I was gonna say, because I went there yesterday, and so there's people like talking about their art and stuff, and it's just like, as the person going, it's interesting because you're asking them shit about what they do, right?
It's actually sick though.
Yeah, it's very chill, but as the person there, like, you're just literally repeating the same fucking thing
Over
to everybody.
and over
So where'd you get the inspiration to do that? It's because when I started, I really liked it, and it's like 17 minutes later, you're just having repeated the same fucking story.
Yeah.
It was nice though. There was a lot of like different like paintings and shit like that, and you see there's like that very classic like artsy looking person, you know?
Like what?
Like they
Describe big glasses.
Yeah, like big glasses, like suspenders and shit. There's like a very hipster vibe to it, you know? It was cool.
Where was it?
Downtown, like somewhere like near.
And how many different artists were there?
I think there was like 6 or 7 actually. And I was talking to one of them, and I was like, "Oh, I really want one of your pieces." And they were all sold. There was like 2 left or whatever. I was like, "Damn, I would have actually bought one." She's like, "Well, actually, I have one of my art on the label of a wine bottle." And I was like, "Wow, that is perfect for me," without having asked the price first. And she's like, "It's $50." I was like, "Okay."
You know what though? For $50, you get a bottle of wine and an art. Like that bottle, you keep it after.
Yeah, 100%.
You have it here?
Yeah, I have it. I'm gonna show it to you after. We went after to a bar.
Yeah.
I was telling Andrea this before. Yeah, Chichetti's. I don't know what the fuck it was called. There was a guy leaving the bar, turns the corner. There was a pole, dude, at the corner of the street. This guy ate this fucking pole, dude, straight in the fucking face.
He walked into it?
Dude, I don't know what he was looking at. He walked around the corner looking somewhere else. Smacks right into the pole, and I couldn't, like, you know, usually in those moments you want to, like, hold in the laughter.
Yeah, you can't, though.
Dude, I started cracking up in my car. I was literally right next to him. The window was open, pissing my pants at, like, extreme decibel levels.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't know what to say. He's like, "Have a good night, bud."
That happened to me, though, like, many times.
Like hitting your face in a pole?
Yeah, happened to me, like, at least 3 times. And then once I remember walking, like, on the sidewalk, and I was talking to one of my friends, and I just fucking smashed my nuts straight into a fire hydrant.
Your nuts?
Yeah, because a fire hydrant. So I just walked right into it, and I was like, "Oh my god, it hurts so fucking much." And another time, actually, twice it's happened to me. Okay, both in high school. I would wait for the bus, right? And I guess I would always stand a little bit too close from the edge of the sidewalk to the street. And you know how like the mirrors of the bus kind of stick out? Mm-hmm. So twice a mirror of the bus just nails me in the back of the head. You know how much that fucking hurts?
Yeah, for sure.
Like at full speed.
I was talking about this the other day, actually. Speaking of your nuts. I don't know if we've ever spoken about this. I feel like we haven't, and I find it very odd that we haven't asked this question on the podcast already. I went to like a work party on Friday, and we got on the topic of getting hit in the nuts. No, we were talking about the cramp simulator. Okay. Someone brought it up. They're like, "How does it feel?" Is it, you know, I was like, it hurt a lot. And so
it's no nut pain though.
No. But what I was asking is this. Okay, so you know how every time you'll ask the question, people will say, "Yeah, obviously giving birth hurts more than getting kicked in the nuts." It's 2 things that both people will never be able to experience. You know, unless you identify as a woman or identify as a male, as a trans male and woman. And I was like, realistically, in life, your nuts have been hit, right? They've been grazed. You've hit them on like a fire hydrant, whatever. But have you ever gotten like a full pin, full force, all my energy kick to your nuts?
Yes, I have.
Really?
Yeah.
By who?
By like, I don't know, a friend.
Like a full force, I want to break your pelvis region.
Yeah.
Kick to the nuts.
Yeah.
How the Gee, I'm in shock and awe right now. That's never happened to me.
It fucking kills. I got Charlie horse in the nuts once. Fucking hurts.
How long did the pain last?
I don't know, like fucking hours. It's crazy, man.
But it hurts a lot, right? Like it's in the abdomen after.
No, it moves. It travels upwards. So it'll start off in the balls, and by the time it's like fully set in, it's in your stomach. It's like a full on like pain. Well, for you would know. Like, do you ever have like? I mean, you have balls. Do you ever have really intense blue balls?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but with the force of actually getting kicked.
It's only ever happened to me once, blue balls, though, to be honest with you.
Was it serious, though?
It hurt quite a bit. I remember I was at my ex's house, I think, and we were about to have sex, and her parents came home.
Okay.
And so like you jump off the bed, you put your fucking clothes back
Yeah.
on, and then I had to leave after. And I remember feeling for like a couple of hours after, like as if I got hit in the nuts.
Yeah.
It was in my stomach, and I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is this feeling? Because I had never had it before, and I was like, wow, this must be what blue balls fucking feels like. It's just a bunch of sperm building up in your balls,
It just feels
waiting
like
to be released.
It just feels like your nuts are bruised. Like I had it so bad, the ones that when I had to go sit on the couch, like I would have to like grab my nuts upwards, then sit on the couch and then slowly drop my balls, because if you go straight, your nuts are gonna hit the couch, and it hurts so much, man.
If you
crazy.
jerk it, they hurt even more though.
Yeah,
Because I jerked off after and it fucking killed.
No, you don't do that.
It fucking hurt.
It doesn't help at all.
There's a video I used to see when I was younger. I think it was in elementary school. There's this guy that lived in like Somalia or something, and he had a condition where his balls were just inflated to a crazy degree. It was like they were like engorged or something like that. I don't know what the fuck. And they were literally like the size of my torso. And he used to sit on his balls, dude.
Like in South Park.
Yeah, dude, like huge. I'll try to find the video after. Massive balls, dude. Like so big that
Like
they look
bigger
like
than your head.
Dude, they look like a beanbag chair. You know those like big beanbag chairs that you
Yeah.
have in a corner in an office or some
Yeah.
shit like that? That attached to his dick. And he would walk around and he would have to like kind of maneuver his balls around as he was walking. And when he would go sit, he couldn't even sit on a chair. He would use the big ball sack,
His own nuts.
his own nuts.
That's
How fucked up
that's
is that?
literally in South Park.
I think that's where they got it from. He was doing like the
The hippity hop.
hippity hop. What are those fucking things
the
called?
hippity hop on his nuts.
The boinger boingers. What are they called?
I think they call it hippity hops.
The hippity hops? Yeah, we'll go with some fucking hippity
In
hops.
gym class, they had that shit when we were younger. Like, first of all, how does your if they must be really heavy?
Yeah, you
How
see
did-
him like having trouble carrying them around.
Yeah, but how does it not? It must stretch the whole skin. Like, your balls are being held by what in reality?
Your scrotum?
Yeah, but like, if your balls are that heavy and it's being pulled down, wouldn't it like fucking rip at one point?
Yeah.
Or does your skin get so strong that it's able to like withhold your heavy nuts?
Your ball sack's curling 50s. Yeah.
You know, I don't know how that would work.
I'm on a creatine cycle, bro.
It must be so veiny. It's so gross.
Yeah, I'll show it to you after. It was really, really weird. But
Yeah.
you can tell like they're infected. Like they look infected.
Okay, this wasn't like a condition he had forever. They were just infected for a bit.
I think it was a thing that he had forever, but you can tell that it's not natural. You know what I mean? Like it's not something that he was born with. Something that he has like a condition, and they were infected, and they started to get like inflamed. You know? But it was just really fucking
Is there
weird.
like testicle reduction surgery like there's for your tits?
Can you imagine, dude? You just have massive fucking balls,
Like,
and they keep weighing
it's
you
like
down.
I have to shrink my balls. It's too much.
What is the I know people who've gotten like breast reduction surgery. Is it really like to the point where some tits are just, I guess, right? If they're fucking that massive, we were looking at that girl that had like 80-pound tits.
Yeah.
They just must destroy your back.
According to studies, it's just pure like back pain. Like,
But
it's
what-
really heavy. Like fuck, I think they go up to like fucking what 10, 15 pounds each.
That's fucked up, dude. But think about
That's
it.
a
Like
lot.
if biologically speaking, we're supposed to have evolved to like eliminate all these things that are wrong with us as much as possible. So why is it that like tits still grow to that size naturally if it's not like beneficial to the rest of your body?
But that's what I always think about, like sleeping and like I know it's off topic, but waking up. Why are we always so tired?
When you wake up,
It's like we've been sleeping for how many fucking years? Millions. Why are you still tired when you wake up? We're supposed to be like used to it by now.
Do you think that that's more due to the fact that not because we're still tired, but because our bodies aren't like we don't keep the machine that is our body well oiled enough, and so when you wake up, it's just because your body is just so fucked up from everything else. Where in reality, if we took care of ourselves the way we're supposed to take care of ourselves, we would have a better and easier time waking up. Do you think?
Honestly, that makes a lot of sense. But like, do you know anybody that like wakes up in the morning and like is not tired?
Actually, when I started the diet 2 years ago, I remember one of the biggest things that changed for me was one, I didn't have to nap as often anymore during the day.
Yeah.
And I actually would wake up earlier and in a better mood and feeling better in the morning because I was drinking a lot more water. I didn't have as much like carbs and like salt and a bunch of garbage in my body as I normally would, you know? So I think that's what it comes down to be honest with you.
So like, you don't feel as like shit when you wake up.
It's with everything though, you don't feel like shit in life.
Yeah, in life. But waking up, that makes a lot of sense. Especially if you're like, I'm sure if you're one of those, honestly, pretty much like me, and you just fucking munch like really, really bad at night, and you fill your stomach with a lot of like junk food and all that bad stuff, you must wake up feeling like all that. It's just
built up.
Yeah, it's all sugar and fat, and it's just in your system, and you wake up all like all fucking groggy.
You know, like when you have McD's one night or whatever, and then you wake
Yeah.
up at 4 a.m. and you're just like, wow, I feel the shit forming in my stomach right now.
I love taking morning dumps, man. Honestly, it's the best thing.
You know what's fucked
It's
though
the
is
best.
some mornings you'll wake up like really tired,
Yeah.
like the way you're saying.
Yeah.
But do you ever have those mornings where you'll wake up and it's like, let's say your alarm is for 7, but your body just wakes up at like 5:20,
Yeah.
but you're good to go.
Yeah.
You're good, like you feel awake. You don't feel that grogginess that you normally would feel. So it's like I can get up now, but no, whatever. I have a bit of time left. I'll stay in bed.
I'll never get up though.
You stay in bed, and then when
Yeah.
you actually do wake up at the time you're supposed to wake up,
You're tired.
then you're groggy.
Yeah.
Then you're
Yeah.
all fucking pissed.
Especially if you fall back asleep.
You think it's just because we have to? It's like a sense of like duty.
Duty. Honestly, okay, listen. So here's my theory. Okay, so in those times when you wake up at, let's say, 5:30, like let's say, I'll give you any number. We as humans have to sleep for 8 hours. We have to. So, and that's like your peak. If you sleep exactly 8 hours, you'll wake up like perfect like that, right? So that night, maybe you went to bed at like 11 or 10, whatever the 8 hours was. And then at 5:20, it was your 8-hour mark of pure sleep. So that's why you woke up like normal and good and ready to go. But then the second you fall back asleep, now you're extending your whole sleep cycle. Now you've slept 9.5 hours, and that's too much. And that's why you're tired.
Your body has too much energy.
Because we can't sleep for too long either.
Dude, do you ever have like times where you sleep and it's like, fuck, I've been asleep for 14 hours, dude.
But that was more when we were younger, I find. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, when I was younger, I was talking about this with someone the other day, and I remember, like in my teens, I'd go to sleep and I'd wake up the next day, like on a weekend or whatever. If I didn't have to work, I'd wake up at like 2 p.m., dude.
What a fucking waste.
What, dude? I think about that night. Now it gives me so much anxiety. If I wake up now, today I woke up at 11:30.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
late.
crazy late.
That's
dude.
crazy.
Your
late.
whole morning is gone.
This morning it was about 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock in the morning.
You were up at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock this morning.
The fuck were you doing up at 8 o'clock?
I don't know. I couldn't sleep. Also, another thing is, okay, when you wake up in the morning, this is a prime example. If I would have woken up at 8 o'clock, let's say I work at 10 on a Monday morning, I wouldn't have woken up at 8. I only woke up like today at 8 o'clock because I knew that I had nothing to do after. I could just get up and chill. When you have to go to work, I feel like you're just more tired.
You're in that mindset.
You're in that mindset of like, I don't feel like going to work. I don't want to do this. I have to get up, shower, make breakfast. You don't feel like doing all that. But if you're just going to go from your bed to your couch.
Yeah, because then I go to my couch and I fall asleep on my couch.
Yeah, but even if you don't, you're just relaxing. It doesn't matter. That's why you're less tired on weekends when you wake up early.
Yeah, because you're not forced to.
You're not forced to get out of your house.
You know, it's fucked. It's talking about the 2 p.m. thing and like napping a lot. That was actually, I think, one of the reasons why my ex broke up with me. She was always like, "Yo, you're always fucking napping. Like, what the fuck?" And it was true. Like at that time, I remember I'd come home from work and it's like I couldn't do. Let's say you wanted to make plans or whatever. I'd be like, no, like I gotta nap first.
Yeah.
Or like middle of the day on Saturday or Sunday, like, oh, let's go out and do something in the day. It's like, no, I need to nap. I want to take a nap.
Yeah.
And it would put a damper in every single one of the plans that we would want to make.
Yeah.
And so I think that was probably one of the biggest reasons.
It's okay.
Along with my shitty personality.
Yeah. I was the worst at that too, man. I don't know how I used to wake up at like 2 o'clock. Like no wonder my parents were fucking pissed at me, man. Like wake up.
Yeah.
It's 2 o'clock.
It's 2 fucking p.m. But that's where they're sort of like, shut up.
Yeah. It's like it's only 2. Like leave me alone. It's like yo, like
what a disgusting waste of a day though. But it's because you know what? We didn't work full time back then.
we didn't work full time.
There wasn't as many responsibilities.
Yeah.
Now, dude, if I wake up at 2 p.m., it's done, dude. If I wake up at 2 p.m. every day, my house will never get clean.
Yeah.
My plants will never get watered. There will be a mountain of dishes in my sink because I'll never do the fucking dishes.
Yeah.
Nothing would ever get done.
If you're up at 2 p.m., like now, you literally only have 2 hours left of your work shift. Like that's how much you slept.
You ever
Like,
wake
you can't
up?
even work.
You ever wake up really late in the day? Let's say it's like 12 or 1 or something. Let's say even like 11.
Yeah.
And then it's like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're like, I've only been up for 5 hours.
Yeah.
If you think about it,
Yeah.
I've literally only been awake for 5 hours, and it's like the end of the afternoon,
Yeah.
becoming evening.
It's the worst, especially in the winter. That's the worst thing.
Dude.
By the time you actually wake up, those 12, 1 o'clocks, by like 3:34, it's already dark.
That's one thing I'm not looking forward to in the winter.
No.
Is the darkness, especially now I'm working like primarily from home.
They got this fucking daylight saving shit, man. We would actually.
Didn't they take it out though?
No, they didn't. They were supposed to, I think. Ottawa, Ontario wanted to, but I guess the thing is, if you're in that time zone, I'm assuming everyone has to agree. Because you can't drive to Ottawa and it's officially, and now it's just an hour back. Like, that makes no fucking sense.
Think about how stupid this whole thing is, okay? We're deciding time.
Yeah, but there's a reason why. Daylight saving, I think it was to save energy.
It's 2021. Like, just let it fucking be.
If we would actually get rid of daylight savings in the winter, instead of getting dark at 4, get dark at 5.
Yeah, but no, it gets dark around 5. I wouldn't say it gets dark. Starts getting dark at 4.
No, like 4:15. Like, it's...
How fucking depressing is that, dude?
When you leave work, let's say you do a 9 to 5, it's already fucking pretty much dark outside.
Is it pitch black more in the summer when you leave early or in the winter?
In the winter, it gets dark really early, and in the summer, it gets dark at like 9 o'clock.
No, I'm saying like when you leave early in the morning, it's the winter where it's more likely to be pitch black, right?
Yeah.
I used to love those though.
In the winter?
Yeah, well, not the winter, but I used to love waking up early, going to school, let's say at like 7 a.m. or leaving my house, and it was still dark outside.
My God, no.
You feel, I don't know, I felt like an adult, you know?
I know what you mean, but no. The only time I'll love that is like if I'm going to the airport on vacation.
Yeah.
And you wake up and it's dark. That's like, it has to be dark.
You know what's funny? Actually, I think 2 weeks ago we were going to some spot next to the river to make a fire. And we had all met up at one of the depths. And we were in our cars and it was dark out.
Don't call me mental. Thanks.
I don't know. You were busy. You were doing something. I remember you were doing something.
Fucking snap.
So anyway, we all met up at like the depths and we were in our cars and it was dark out. It was like 9:30 or whatever. And we were waiting for someone to come out with like some cups and some wood and shit, you know. And I'm looking around. I'm like, what? This feels like those moments where you're going on a road trip with your friends and it's like 4 a.m. and you all met up super early at some depth and it's just pitch black outside, but you know the adventure is starting. You know,
love that shit.
That's the best feeling when you're you know your vacation is beginning now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have that feeling on Friday. I'm going to the airport. My flight's at 7:30. I have to get there at 6 and be pitch black. Love it.
I'm fucking jealous, man. I really wanted to come.
It's not too late. It's not too late. It's never too late.
I wanted to ask you a question. Actually, going back to the reason why my ex broke up with me, I was thinking about this the other day. Think about the relationships you've had.
Yeah.
How they were successful, how they weren't successful, everything that encompasses it, who you were, who they were.
Yeah.
And then think about this, okay? Would you date you
back then? No.
Back then versus
back
now?
then, no. Like no.
Let's say now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would date yourself?
Yeah, no.
Like if you met yourself on the street, is there something about you that you'd be like, oh my God, I'm like, fuck this person?
No. Not like in an obvious sense. Like I still have my flaws that we work on, obviously. But like back then, it's like just a piece of shit. Yeah. Like I wasn't a bad person, but it's just all these little details that could be worked on.
I was a piece of shit.
But I only think about how I'm okay now because of that. You know, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be how I am right now, you know?
Yeah, it makes you learn for sure.
Yeah.
I was a piece of shit for like I can tell you 100%. In that relationship in particular,
yeah.
I was selfish. But I feel like that's at that age, man. I
was very selfish.
When you're in your teens, your early 20s, like everyone's very selfish. That's why it's so rare that you find people who have been dating since like high school and they get fucking married. That's why it's so fucked up because you grow so much as a person.
Yeah.
You lose all these like bad habits that you had. Do you think that, and I don't know the answer to this, do you think that if people have been dating since high school, that they were so meant to be together that it worked?
I don't think there's a meant to be, so no.
No? Or do you think that it's like more they overlooked each other's problems throughout this entire time and just got used to the bad habits or anything that may have formed? Because you change so much as a person. Like, what are the odds that you both grow at the same amount and at the same level and stay, like, I don't know,
that's what makes,
on the same level, on the same mind state?
That's why it's rare. Like, it could happen, you know? So I think it's a mix of that, too, of, like, you'll probably just work at your faults together, you know? And, like, you're just going to accept them the whole way and work at it, you know? And that's more rare than not because sometimes you just, you can't anymore. It doesn't work. Yeah. But for the rare cases that it does, that's the goal at the end of the day, man, you know?
Do you think that if you've ever... I used to think about this a lot when I was younger. Do you think if you were with someone and it's the first and only person you've ever, let's say, slept with, okay, and then you end up getting married to that person, your high school sweethearts, and you've only ever been with each other, do you think that eventually there's a curiosity that tries to like kind of break through in terms of like, I wonder, like, what did I miss? Is that like, because curiosity is so inherent in humans, right?
Yeah.
So like, do you think there's ever a moment in those types of relationships where inevitably you're like, what did I miss? Maybe there's something else out there. Like, I'll never be able to know. And then that just fucking eats away at your mind.
Oh, fuck, it's a good one. I guess, honestly, it would have to depend on, like, you, obviously. So, number one, okay, this might sound kind of mean. If you're not a good-looking person, not really. Because you're not going to probably pick up if you're single, you know? You have your love, you're good, and it's all chill. But let's say, like, you know you're an attractive guy, and you can know that you can go out there and just rip fucking chicks, you know? Like,
rip some fucking puss.
Maybe you'll be more curious, you know? Like, for me, at the end of the day, when I was with my ex-girlfriend, like, I never felt that, ever. I never felt like, oh, my God, I have to go, like, I'm missing out on shit. Like, that's not what drives me, you know? Like, at the end of the day, my relationship, it was really, really good. And to me, what was important was that we had, like, a nice group of friends that we did things with, That was good. If I was with my girlfriend and it was just me and her at like home, and like we didn't do anything like our whole fucking time, I would have more FOMO of like that, like missing out on like activities and events, but not necessarily just girls and sex, you know?
I used to always look at relationships when we were younger, like people who were dating for like 2, 3, 4 years or whatever. And I used to always say the relationships that started where they're both each other's first, I'm like, they're not going to last. Even if they were in the middle of it, because 9 times out of 10, that's what ends up happening, I think, is like that curiosity.
What if one person it was their first?
That's a good question. So I think maybe the person who it was their first would be the one who ends up getting that curiosity. I also think that guys are a bit more...
What if the first was a girl?
What do you mean?
Like you're a guy, you slept with, I don't know, a dozen chicks.
Yeah.
And you meet a girl for the first time and you're her first and you guys date. You think she's gonna get curious?
That's my question. I don't know. Like I wonder.
Girls have more self-control. If
Yeah,
it's a
that's
guy,
what
I
I'm
would
saying.
say probably a little bit more.
Yeah.
For girls, depending.
I think there's like maybe a smaller chance of the girl like kind of succumbing to the curiosity.
I think so too.
But I used to always say that like 22 years old, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I used to look at people's relationships. I'm like, I don't know if that was gonna
It
go.
depends the person,
Yeah.
you know. Like I would look at them and be like, yeah, he's not that type of guy. She's not that like, it might actually work. But there's some guys we know them and it's like, oh my god, like no. You know
It's
what
also
I
a
mean?
very cynical point of view.
Yeah.
Like, look,
just-
I know people. I'm not gonna name any names or whatever, but I know people who have been in relationships for a long time. I know people who are married. I know people who have kids
Yeah.
that have cheated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, so where does that come from? Because you love this person unconditionally. And especially when you have kids, which is another point I'll bring up after. But let's say you love this person unconditionally. You've decided to marry them, let's say, and you want to spend the rest of your life with them. And then that urge to do it still overpowers all those other fucking emotions.
Yeah.
How fucking crazy is that? And then especially when you have kids, because this is something else I was thinking about. And I'm not saying cheating is good. I'm not condoning it at all. But when you're in a relationship with somebody, just you two, whether it's before marriage or after marriage, the only two people who you owe anything to and are responsible for are each other.
Yeah.
Right?
And your children.
Now you have kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now it's like, it's no longer I cheated on the woman who I love. I cheated on the mother of my children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if you think about it then from the point of view of your kid, okay? If you were growing up and you found out that when your parents were together, or I found out that one of my parents cheated on the other,
Yeah.
I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah, be fucking pissed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, be fucking pissed.
So now you're hurting the feeling of the woman who you're married to, and you're causing resentment towards you from your kids now if
Yeah.
they find out.
I literally know people that like don't talk to their mom or dad
Exactly.
anymore because their mom or dad cheated on the other one.
Exactly.
Like, and are very, very upset. Like they don't talk anymore.
How fucked up is that?
That's
man?
fucked up. Yeah.
You think that's warranted?
Like honestly, like yeah, like you know what you're doing when you're cheating on somebody.
Yeah.
You know that you might lose the respect of your kid. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck?
So put it this way, okay? The reason I'm asking the question is because do you think it's warranted in the sense of, yes, they're your parents, you love them both individually, and they both love you regardless of their marital status, but is it any of your business their relationship?
A bit, just
Yeah.
because you're all in the same household. You understand?
Yeah, I guess like
Like,
by
it's gonna-
proxy you're affected. Yeah.
You're gonna get affected, man. Like especially if there's bad tension or bad energy in the house because your mom or your dad is cheating on the other one. It's like you're gonna feel that shit, man. You know?
Yeah. But then so let's say they get divorced, no cheating involved. Do you then not speak to one of the parents? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what
my
I'm saying.
parents are divorced. Though honestly, the way I see it, okay, is this. Obviously, when my parents got divorced, I was really, really young. I don't even know what it's like for my parents to kiss. I don't remember that. I was 3 years old. I didn't know what that difference.
That's fucked.
Yeah, so that's my reality, you know. But at the end of the day, okay, obviously when you're a little older, it affects you different because you're used to having your parents there,
Yeah.
and now they're just in separate houses, so it's weird, okay. But the way I think about it is, as long as your parents are happy, okay, and you're able to maintain like a relationship with both of them, then I think it's fine. Like it's okay, especially if they didn't cheat. If it's not working out anymore and you're getting divorced, I feel like that's better than having a household of like just
Tension.
negativity and tension.
Yeah.
Fuck that. What good is it doing you? It's doing you probably worse because it affects you 10 times more.
Yeah.
At least if they're both happy, you go see your dad, he's happy. You go see your mommy, she's happy, and like that's it. There's no more of like coming home to them arguing or screaming and all this fucking shit. Like it's to me that's way worse. As long as my parents are happy, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I think that stems also from the fact of like anybody who I love, if you hurt that person who I love, then I'm gonna be angry about it. Whether it's my mom, whether you hurt like my brother, or like anybody who is in that like close vicinity. So I guess like if your dad cheats on your mom or your mom cheats on your dad, it's like you're hurting this person who I love.
Yeah. Okay, but how about question? Okay, how would you feel if your parents would get divorced now at your age, at 30 years old? If your dad and your mom sit you down and explain it to you, you're gonna understand way more.
100%. Yeah,
for sure.
You know
what? Fine. It's not working out anymore. And obviously for just normal reasons, not like you cheated on your mom or you just like fucking beat her and shit. Like none of that extreme stuff. Just it's not working out. We fell out of love, whatever. We stay with you because we wanted to raise you as a family, and now you guys are older and we want to go do our own thing.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. It's like this is your relationship now. And so do you think that stems more because of the fact that one, I'm older, and two, I don't live there anymore?
Yeah, but even for your brother, for example, he still lives there.
Yeah.
It's like he's old enough to understand, and he's had, I don't know if him, but you've had failed relationships in your life. You understand what that's like.
More than a few, let me tell you.
You understand what it's like to not connect. You've like broken up with chicks. You understand. So it's like you can't really get angry at your parents for not being together. And if you do, like, it's like a little bit selfish, man.
Yeah,
obviously,
100%. But again, it affects people differently. I know people.
It does.
I know people who had their parents divorced in like when they were in their 20s, and it's just they don't know how to like cope with it. It's just it's fucked because that's the first and only real relationship that you base your idea of relationships on. Growing up, it's your parents. Right. Yeah. But again, like your parents divorced early on, so it doesn't. I don't think it dictates.
I don't
whether
have
or
trust
not
issues or like. Because my parents got divorced, and I feel like, oh my God, if my parents can get divorced at that age, like there's no more love. Like that's not what I think.
Look, put it this way: your parents got divorced early on. My parents are still together. I would say that I probably have bigger commitment issues or those types of issues than you do. So you know what I mean? Like I don't
know, but like it could be.
Yeah, like I don't think it's dictated by that, but it is also still, like it or not, like the idea of a relationship and what you base your idea of what it is on. I think from a very early age.
My parents are also still friends. So if they were like always, like from the beginning of the divorce, like they stayed like friends. I guess like he comes over my dad and shit to eat. Yeah. But if my parents would fight, or they were fighting back then, even as a kid growing up, and they were still fighting, I think maybe it would have been different for me.
You know what's fucked up, man? Imagine your wife tells you she's pregnant. And then throughout the 9 months of her pregnancy, you guys realize like, oh man, this isn't working out. I don't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
And you have this fucking kid on the way, dude.
I know.
How fucked
You're
up
still
is
gonna
that?
love your kid because it's your kid.
Yeah,
but
obviously.
You might be like, oh my God, like maybe I had a kid with the wrong person.
Yeah, like did I do this right? Do you think that you need to be in like a 2-parent household to have a kid? Obviously, like the sex wise, like you need when a man and a woman love each other very much. But I mean, like, do you think that it makes a difference if it's like just a one guy or just the mom in the household? Like, do you think anybody could just go have a kid willy nilly, or do you think it's important to be in that relationship with somebody or be married or whatever to have a child rather than just having it like whatever, I fucked someone and now I'm pregnant?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just more classic, but definitely family.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like the last thing I want is to have a kid with somebody that I don't want to have a kid with. Like, but it's true though. Like you just said, like you'll like, I don't know, sleep with a girl and you'll get her, like this happens all the time, right? You'll sleep with a girl at random, you'll get her pregnant. You are now the father of her child. Yeah. That is your kid. You're going to love your kid. Don't get me wrong. You're going to raise it if you have to, or you can do what you have to do. But at the same time, it's like, there's no love between you and the girl. It's like, you're not going to have that whole family experience. You're just going to go like pick up your kid every fucking weekend and like chill with him.
This fucking random person. Hey,
and
what's
it's
up?
Like, maybe, and then it starts becoming like, it starts to like branch out. It's like, then is it harder to find a girl now because you have a kid that's not with that person and shit like that, That's what I think about. Would you ever date a girl with a kid?
Fuck. That's a good fucking question, man. I've been asked this before. Like right now, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Right now, no.
Me neither.
In the future, maybe.
In the future.
Because eventually like whatever. Obviously, I want kids and stuff like that. But in the future, I feel like if you were to meet somebody in your mid-30s and stuff, it's more than likely that people your age are going to have had kids. And I was talking about this with somebody else the other day. It's like, fuck, the pool is closing. Everyone's getting married or having kids now. Yeah. And now it's just like, oh, well, we just got to wait until the wave of divorces comes.
That was me.
Yeah. So I was talking about it. Yeah. So it's like at that age, when you're in your mid-30s or late 30s, there's going to be a lot of people who have been probably divorced or who have kids. So like, I guess I don't want to say like beggars can't be choosers type of thing.
But like almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like right now in my 20s, no, because I don't think I'm ready for a kid. So I think by an extension of that, I'm not ready to have the responsibility
of another kid,
of someone else, of someone else's fucking kid. You know what I mean?
Unless you like fall in love with a girl that has a kid, and then like you have a kid like with her. So like at least you're sharing a kid like with that person. and like you just have like a fucking stepson or something.
But this is what I'm saying though. It's because like you know when you walk around sometimes, you go to a club or whatever, and you see some girl who you hooked up with a long time ago.
Yeah.
You guys had sex, whatever, like 2-3 years ago, and you stop talking. Hey, what's up? You say hi and shit, but you both know in the back of your mind like, oh, we both fucked. Now imagine that. It's like you just walk around and it's like everyone's just having babies with random people. And like you meet that person you slept with like 3 years ago. Hey, what's up? We fucked. It's like, oh yeah, where's the kid? you know, like
I would fucking no. That's so fucked.
It's the mother of your child. Dude.
Yeah, that's too much.
Why is the mother of my child a thing, but the father of my child is never really? It's my baby daddy.
Yeah,
it's always baby daddy. It's not the mother of my child.
Because the mother gave birth to the child.
It's true.
She carried that child for 9 months.
So birth or getting kicked full circle, getting kicked full pin in the nuts.
Or giving birth.
Yeah.
What's worse?
Yeah.
Giving birth, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I was saying it at the work party. I'm like, obviously, like, I would imagine that I never had it happen, like a big ass kick.
Stretches fucking 10 centimeters
That's
wide.
what I'm saying.
You know how big that is? It's not this big, obviously, but...
You're pushing... sometimes a shit hurts coming out of my ass. Like, you're pushing a human being out of your vagina. Like, there's a serious pain there. Not even that, the contractions, dude. The fucking contractions must be
You think
brutal.
it's like a massive stomach ache, the contractions?
Like, just a brutal fucking
You know the
stomach
ones,
ache?
like, when you're, like, chilling on your couch and, like, you have, like it really hurts. Feels like there's, like, spikes, and then it'll stop.
You don't have gastro.
No, because gastro, you feel nauseous.
But you have stomach aches, too.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about strictly stomach aches.
Yeah,
where, like, it'll...
stomach pains.
Yeah, you know where, like, it'll come, it'll go away and
it's
come
like
back.
appendicitis for 72 hour
it's
period.
like, what the fuck, you know? Even when you shit, does it even help? That's how I feel like the girls feel, but like 10 times worse.
They were talking about, because she has 2 kids, one of the women that works with me. She's like, when you give birth that first time, it's such a traumatic experience that your that your brain compartmentalizes all that memory and stores it away somewhere so that you don't remember, so that you're not turned off from having children again.
Yeah.
Because it hurts so much and it's such a fucking crazy experience that if you were to remember that, any rational human being would be like, nah, I am not doing that again.
Yeah, no way. There's even girls that don't even do it with like medication, the natural birth. Like they'll say no to like the drugs and just want to push a baby out naturally.
I wonder if those home midwife births or whatever might actually be a bit easier to navigate than the ones in the hospital.
Are you fucking crazy?
For 2 reasons. One, I feel like if you're in the hospital, there's so much stress around you. There's all like these fucking beeping, 7 nurses, some guy's dying in the next room, you know what I mean? And you're trying to fucking give birth. 2, if you're at home, an extension of that, you're in a comfortable environment. If it's done properly, sometimes you see them in a bath and shit, like in movies, it's like rose petals.
Yeah.
If it's done properly, maybe there's an element of like, you know how meditation eases your stress and shit? Maybe there's an element of like all that tension, that stress being reduced, and like it just comes out, you know, like sometimes like a wet shit.
Yeah. Is there a doctor at your house or no?
Yeah, a doctor or like a midwife. Are midwives still a thing?
What's a midwife?
Isn't that what she is in The Handmaid's Tale? What is The Handmaid's Tale? I always hear about it and I hear it's brutal, but I have no idea what it is. All I know is there's like fucking they cut clits in that show or something like that.
Oh, mental. Okay, that's chill. That's chill. I want to watch it.
Season 2 of Clit Cutters.
I wouldn't do a birth at home. I would only do it if a doctor would be there. Like, you know, some people like they don't believe in like going to the hospital for birth and like they'll do it themselves. Like I would never fucking do that.
I'd be scared that my wife would die, dude.
Exactly, and your fucking baby.
What makes you die though when you give birth? Just like how much it hurts.
I don't know. Why are we talking about death today a lot? This is crazy.
Severe bleeding and infections after childbirth are the biggest killers, but high blood pressure, obstructed labor, and unsafe abortions all contribute. Obstructed labor is like if the baby comes out sideways, just rips apart your fucking pelvis.
Apparently I was chilling in the stomach, my mom said.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was just chilling.
Looking for a fucking air vent to smoke a joint.
Yeah. give me a letter. My sister was ready to come out apparently, and I was literally just sideways.
It's warm, dude. It's nice.
Yeah, nice. I want to stay.
You don't have sex and you put it in and you're just like, it's warm. It's comforting. It's home.
Yeah, it feels right.
That's what it must be like when you're a kid. That's why you're crying for fucking the first 3 years of your life. Like, dude, put me back, man. I was chilling.
Yeah, I was chilling
In this fucking horrible world.
I wish I could remember, like, I wish we were able as humans to remember the day we're born as if what we just did yesterday. You know how clear, like, my lunch was yesterday or, like, even today? I wish that's how we were.
Can you imagine having that memory? Like, or just being fully conscious and
like
sentient from the moment you come out of the womb?
Fully conscious. Because in reality, your memory, like, starts, for me, maybe around... I've had memories... My earliest memories, probably, I would say, 2 or 3 years old. Maybe 1 or 2 at that age. And then it starts to become, like, real. Maybe at, like, 6 or 7 years old, you start to really be conscious of, like, what you're doing.
What's the first memory you can remember?
The first memory I can remember is... so there's 2 of them, actually. This is fucked. One of them was coming home to...
So one of them was coming...
coming home to my old house where my parents were still together, and just having my old cat, walk to the door. I don't know why. I remember that really, really clearly. And my second memory that both me and my sister both remember really, really well is we used to just had my basement, and when we used to go downstairs together, we used to hold hands. Okay. And we both fell.
You and your sister?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So we used to hold hands together to go down the stairs because I guess we're twins, same age, whatever. We're scared. And then once we both fell down the stairs.
Still holding on to each other.
Still holding hands at the same time. And my sister remembers. I remember my parents remember, and it's like that's the image I have of just tumbling down a bunch of stairs. You know.
Mine is.
I was like 2 years old. There, 2 or 3.
That's what I think. Because mine is around 3 years old to 3 or 4, where my mom was pregnant with my brother. So whatever age I would have been there, and it was just me. Right beside her as she was washing the dishes at the counter at the sink, and just looking up at her, and I just remember her like her belly, you know.
That's sick though.
It's just weird, like that's probably the moment I would imagine around 3 years old is when you're like your memory part of your brain is like starting to fully form, and things can kind of get stored, you know.
Do you know what was going on? Did you know why your mom's stomach was that big?
I don't
remember. Eh?
I don't remember. Like now I can say I would know, but only because I know now, you know. So I don't know what I knew back then.
Yeah.
But it's fucked because like that's probably around the age where your memory center starts. You're going from like a fucking 28 gig storage on your phone and to like 650 gigs. You know, like
more.
a terabyte in your brain.
Sometimes I find it so like impressive, like how much our brain could fucking store. Like think about how many exams in your life you've studied for.
Yeah, but you know what?
And you're good.
Ask me if I remember anything from those exams.
No, you don't. But just to say.
But it stores other important shit.
Yeah.
How to walk, how to like ride a bike, dude. You know what I mean? You know how they say like you never forget.
Yeah, but that's more like movement. It's different. I'm talking about like knowledge. You know,
like facts. You're saying?
Yeah, like facts or like anything.
Like stupidly large words.
Yeah, that too.
Imagine you can tell when you gave birth if your kid was going to be like successful or like smart or I don't want to say like rich or anything because that you don't know, but just like in terms of his intellect or like his athletic ability, things that are like inherent. Imagine you can tell when you gave birth to your kid by looking at them or like some machine that they were going to be a really athletic person or a really smart person.
Would you want to know?
No, I wouldn't
it's
want to
like,
know.
you're a reed, like a board.
No, but not like in the pregnancy, but like once they're out of the womb.
Okay,
you know?
so you can abort. It's too late.
No, exactly.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you can like abort the fatherhood mission, I guess, and just like run away. But
yeah, that's it. Abort mission. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck this. You just leave the hospital.
I don't think I would want to know, especially if they're already born.
Not. It just taints your entire perception of them for the rest of their life, I think.
It does, but it could also save you like a lot of like stress because you'll know that in the future your son's gonna be okay and successful. Like, you don't have to worry about him going to school and him getting good grades and him having a good job. Like you'll know he's gonna get there eventually. But if your kid's a fucking idiot and you know he's gonna be stupid for the rest of his life, then you're like fucked. So I don't know.
You know what would happen if people could fucking tell? People would be trying to switch babies out.
Yeah.
All fucking
whole.
Because
like
you
Pokemon
can't,
for babies. We start trading.
Dude, like you can't. No, but not even trading. Like you can't tell. Listen, I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care if that baby came out of your vagina. I don't care if out of your mouth.
Yeah.
You cannot tell a baby apart from another baby.
No.
If you just gave birth to your kid and you go into that room that houses all the fucking kids in the cribs and the baskets, and I put 4 kids in front of you, all dressed the same, I can almost guarantee you will not be able to. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe like there's this like motherhood sense or something like that. But I don't think you can tell those fucking 4 babies apart. I don't think
you've actually stared at your baby long enough to understand how he looks like. You know, if you're with your baby for a couple of days and you could like, okay, this is how he looks like. But if you just give birth, you hold it and you give it to the girl to go put into the room, like there's no way. No. They all look the fucking same.
They all look exactly
the same.
They all
like little aliens. And that's it.
Think about that, dude. As a species, when we're ready to live and be a part of a functioning society, we're too big to come out of another human. So we have to come out pre-cooked, dude. Like we're not even ready yet. Pre-cooked. You know what I mean? Like the oven didn't warm up fully yet, but we still got to come the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell though. There'll be people switching babies, dude.
It happens for sure all the time. Not all the time, but I'm sure it's happened. Like I'm sure people
switching babies.
Not switching them, taking the wrong one.
You think?
100%.
Oh my God. What do you think is the percentage of people 100%. Who have children that probably, sometimes you're like, dude, this kid doesn't look like any of them.
Yeah. I'm sure there are kids right now that are being raised by the wrong parents. It's like, why is my kid ginger? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense.
What the fuck, dude? Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
And you would never know.
You would never know.
You would never fucking
like, unless
know.
you go take like DNA tests and shit like that.
Yeah,
or, like,
I
whatever.
guess. But like, why would you go get the DNA test?
Yeah.
Like the nurse comes in that day, she's hungover, dude. She had a fucking rough night. She went to bed at 5 in
We're
the
all
morning.
human. She probably went out the night before.
She's just like, yeah, here's your kid. It's like the person from down the hall.
Yeah, it's the wrong
That's
kid.
so fucked up. You know the classic, like, yeah, his dad's the mailman. Like, maybe this is not this is not my fucking family.
Yeah, like even the mom, like it's the wrong kid.
It's the wrong child, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, that for sure happens. I would say maybe under like 0.5% in the whole world.
Yeah,
But
I would say like 1% max.
yeah, that's a lot. But even at that, it's happened for sure though.
Well,
like it's one of those things.
Think about like babies born in like third world countries and shit. I feel like maybe there you would know more because like, you're giving birth in like a teepee. What do you
Yeah.
like a hut or whatever, like a cavern.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
Talk about fucking giving birth in at home without a doctor. Imagine giving birth in fucking Afghanistan in a cave. You know what I mean?
Yo, there's videos of like fucking people giving their babies to the military so they can take them. That's fucked. Imagine that.
With the whole thing that
Yeah.
that just happened. Yeah. That's
That's-
dude. You saw the thing where people were like falling off the.
Yeah, the planes and shit. That's
Dude,
fucked up.
when that is a better fucking choice than living where you in your country,
Yeah.
there's a fucking problem, dude. Even like not to get into political or whatever, but like even the Taliban, like, dude, these are like people that you want to rule over are trying to run away and falling off planes. Like you want to maybe like change your, you know what I mean? Like
change your
maybe
business plan a little
maybe
bit.
what
you
you're
know?
trying to give to people is not what they want. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like maybe pivot.
Yeah, maybe
Pivot on some of the more
Yeah.
questionable ideologies
Yeah.
here. You know.
Go back to the drawing board, man. It's not working.
Jesus Christ.
Or fucking,
Maybe the stoning the adultery people like is not the move here, you know?
it's still going on, this shit. I don't get it. Anyways, that's a whole other fucking
Yeah.
story. But yeah, that's really fucking sad.
Maybe it's time to change your business model here,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
change your
People
business
falling off planes to escape your rule, you
It's
know?
brutal
Like,
as fuck.
it's not working,
It's
guys.
brutal as fuck. Okay, question for you.
Yes.
Would you rather have a boy or a girl as a kid?
Would I want a boy or a girl?
I
My
really feel
first-
like I'm gonna get a girl. I don't know why.
I think so too. My first kid. Okay, let me preface this. I think that you're more inclined to want the gender of your baby to be your gender as the first one, just because like that is what you are, you know. So you connect more with a boy because you're a guy. You're a boy, you know. Like
We're still boys.
you know what it is to grow up as a guy versus growing up as a girl. So I think just in terms of like, I guess understanding your kid more. I don't know. I feel like maybe most people, like a girl would say I want a girl first or whatever, and a guy will be like I want a guy first. That being said, I would go guy first. I want a little pal.
Yeah.
But I do want 3 kids, and I want at least one of those 3 to be a
Yeah, I
girl.
want one of each.
Yeah.
One of each. Meaning there's 2 genders.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say one of each from the 3 kids. I was like, geez,
It's fucking
he, she, and zer.
yeah, he, she, her. What
I see people like putting it on Instagram now.
Yeah, he and she.
Yeah,
Oh, that I want to
their
snap.
pronoun. But you know what's funny?
Oh, that gets me so nervous.
You know what's funny? Okay, it's like
I know you're a girl.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes you'll look and it's like the person has like she, her as their pronouns on Instagram. I didn't need the help. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
Like, thanks. I like, yeah, you're a girl. Like, if you're one of those like genders that look a bit like off-brandish or whatever, you know, like you got like the pink hair and whatever the fuck, like you're the no name.
You're the president's choice.
Yeah, you're president's
The
choice.
PC.
The president's choice gender.
The PC,
Then I
PC
need a little
gender.
bit of help, but like I know you're a girl. You know, like I don't need to know she, her.
Yeah.
Tell me your gender and your pronouns if it's like something different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The whatever 50 other million ones that there are. Anyway, I digress. I would go guy first, to be honest with you, just because like I don't know, it'd be fun to have a guy. As shitty as it is to say, I think you worry less with a guy.
Yeah.
Why is that? I don't know. Maybe it's the patriarchy. Maybe it's sexism.
I feel like career-wise though, I would worry less if it was a girl.
What do you mean?
Like I don't know. I feel like girls are just smarter. Like they're gonna like be successful. Your son could be just a fucking idiot.
I mean, you have fucking idiot girls too.
You do, but like
I feel like you see less of the this fucking person's a dumbass
on
in
a
the
chick.
world in girls
Yeah.
in the world. You know, it's
Yeah.
like it's either they're hyper successful. Well, they're usually pretty successful at whatever it is that they choose.
Yeah.
Guys tend to be either really successful or really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
The fucking people putting like horns in their head and shit. You know, like imagine your kid becomes like one of those guys that's just like body modifications. You know.
Honestly, man, in the direction that we're going, it's not gonna be fucking unrealistic. That's the worst part. Who knows what's to come in the future?
I always thought about it. Thought about this. I
We're
feel like in the
fucked.
future, if they can have like robot arms,
Yeah.
instead of getting a piercing, you're just gonna cut your whole arm off and get like a robot arm. You know,
Yeah.
that's the body
That's a
modification.
huge mistake.
Yeah. I know you, guy or girl,
The obvious answer would be to say guy, but I'm just feeling a girl. I don't know why.
that you would want first, or that you think you're gonna get first.
Both.
Yeah, I mean, look,
It's nice.
girls are cool. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's just nice, you know? Like, it's cute.
Daddy, I'm on my period. I'm getting my
I
period.
don't want to deal with that
Yeah.
shit, though. You see, go see your mother.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. The kid comes up, Daddy, my pee is hard. Like, okay. Like,
Okay.
I know how to deal with that.
Okay.
My pecker is hard. Why is it hard? Why is my pecker hard?
Well, I can't wait for that day where my son's like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, son,
Let's have a talk.
let's have a talk. They have a story for you.
Take your right hand, put your penis inside of it,
Grip.
and give it a rub.
Grip a little bit.
That's another thing that happens. I don't think parents, it's so instinctual. Parents don't tell their kids how to masturbate.
No way. I'm like, Dad, get the fuck out of here with that conversation. Okay, son. So you just how you're gonna
Let's
do it.
do it together. Sit down beside me, son. We'll
That's how you go to jail. Actually, that's not how you fucking. No.
this is growing up in the Spacey household.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get into a segment that we like to call
Really right. Fuck.
Really right. Fuck.
Ew.
3 questions.
Okay.
First, coming
by
from
the
our
way, I was chilling with Steve Lapiani the other day, and like I don't really see him often, but we're still really good friends because we're organizing a bachelor party, and he comes in and he's like, we're just like randomly chilling, and he's like, oh, really right, fuck. And I'm just like, bro, like, what are you saying? Like, shut the fuck up, you know?
what a segment, dude! It fucking transcends time and space.
You're just fucking trolling me.
People in Korea know about really right fuck.
Yeah, people in North Korea know about really
Exactly. But this podcast is viewed very heavily in North Korea.
King Jong-un is a huge fan.
Would you rather be right now in this age back in school or continuing to work full time?
Oh man, honestly, work full time. I fucking hate school.
Yeah,
Like, okay, the freedom of school is
it's
the
nice.
best.
Yeah,
Summers off, all that shit.
yeah,
But like when you're in it, there's like no stopping. You know, like
Yeah.
you gotta go to school every single day, 8 to 6, 8 to 5. Come home, study on weekends. You have exams. At least when you go to work, you come home when you're finished.
yeah. Exactly.
You have your weekends off all the time. You don't have to worry about your exam Monday morning. You just
But it depends your job too, because sometimes there's those jobs that are
Yes.
fucking stressful, and you have to take them home with you.
Yeah.
You know.
If you own a business too, I mean, you're always thinking about
Yeah.
work and you're always doing that stuff. But at least you don't have to like fucking study. You know, at least the moves that you're making for your business or for work is just for like an income. It's not like for a maybe I'm gonna get this job and I'm gonna pass this course with a 75.
Yeah. There's
Because
a lot more
this and
stress, I
that.
guess.
There's
Yeah.
just so much, not stress, like unnecessary stress. Because the stress
time
levels for both
consuming,
could be both. Like
Yeah.
a work stress could be heavier than school stress.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't care about your school and you care about your job. But like the overall thing, like no, fuck that. I'm so happy I'm in school.
Yeah, like there's those jobs that it's like the you're gonna beat your wife job eventually. You know, like you're gonna just come home with so much fucking angst and stress and pressure
Yeah.
that you're just gonna like fucking lose a tuna casserole and you just fucking whip her a plate across the head.
Yeah.
There's like stressful jobs to that degree.
1950s, fuck.
What the fuck is this supper?
Could you imagine the people that would come home and beat their wives because the supper wasn't good enough? Are you
Dude.
fucking insane?
You know what's even worse? Like, what's worse? That there was people that did that, or that was normal. You know what I mean? Like that was a normal thing to do.
there's
Like,
literally
how fucked
like
up is that?
a garment that's called the wife beater.
You know what I mean?
Like, that's how fucking like popular beating your wife was. That they made a fucking piece of clothing named after it.
Like what? I don't understand the fucking like
It's fucking
pleasure that you derive from that. Like what satisfaction do you get from that? You're so obviously gonna beat her up. Like she's not gonna win the fight
Yeah.
for the most part.
Honestly, if you like beat chicks, bro, you're just a fucking pussy.
You're a horrible person, dude. That's one of
Yeah.
the like that's up there with like I think like rape and pedophilia and shit.
Yeah.
Like that's just like
Like the only like
don't get me wrong. There's reasons to do it.
Like if a girl comes up to me and stabs me, I'm punching her in
Yeah,
the face.
exactly. There's situations where you would want to do it, but most of those situations don't result in you actually doing it.
Yeah,
You know what
because
I mean?
what we're talking about right now, our example is like coming home to like a overcooked fucking piece of lasagna.
Yeah.
And you just beat your fucking wife because like it's too cooked. The cheese is too burnt on top. I don't like it this way.
But you come home and she's fucking your brother.
I beat the fuck out of her.
Yeah,
Then
you
I crack my brother too.
see, like I don't think I would in that situation, but like that's a situation where
Man,
like
do you want to?
oh
though?
man, yeah, exactly.
Would you? I mean, I could say that now, but in the moment, it takes a lot for you to actually like
Yeah,
connect with a chick.
Yeah.
Not connection in love, but in fist. You know.
connection in love or in fist.
But your brother, you'll probably give him a beating. The girl, you'll think twice, even though she fucking deserves it. You know.
100%. But the brother's gonna get a double for her too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now you're gonna get a bigger beating. Perfect.
So back to school or back to work, wife beaters is that's
Perfect.
what this podcast is all
I'm
about.
gonna go back to work. But
Yeah,
not beating my wife when I come home.
Yeah, I'll stay in work.
Yeah.
Would you suck cock one time for $1 million? I love when people send these dumb fucking questions. For $1 million to suck cock one time. I feel like we've answered this on the podcast before,
Like
but
we
like
said this, but I've been really right.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
honestly, like almost. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
depends. Am I like taking a load to the face? Like what's the story with
That's
it?
it.
You know? Like
I'm just gonna like just Almost. Maybe.
Yeah.
It depends the situation. Whose
Like,
cock?
Yeah.
How long?
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors.
A lot of factors.
A lot of factors in here. This is a good one that I wanted to get to, actually. I sent you that video the other day, and it coincided with somebody sending the question in about artificial intelligence
AI.
and how that makes you feel. Like, is that something that worries you? And I was
Yes.
thinking about it because I was like, fuck, that video I sent you of the robot doing the parkour.
Yeah.
First of all, how fucking funny is that
Yeah.
video?
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
hopping around, prancing
I
around.
feel like almost bad for the robot. It's not even a real fucking human, and I don't know why. I have like an emotion towards it.
Why? Because of the way it looked?
Yeah.
You felt bad because like other robot kids would make fun of it.
Yeah. Like almost. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's so like lanky. You know?
Do you think like in our lifetime it'll be something that, well, there already is AI, technically speaking. Like Siri is AI.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Alexa, all these things. But do you think like in our lifetime that'll actually be a thing where
No.
you have like sentient robot life?
Well, I think for certain jobs, yeah, like machinery took over a lot of things. Obviously, like
Mm.
for example, even for me, for what I do for printing, like there's machines that print for you now. You don't have to.
Mm.
But in terms of like robots, like that one, that are gonna take like the job of a physical human, like a clerk or like I don't know, like a doctor
Mm.
or like shit like that. Like it'll take a long time. Like it'll take a long time for a robot to do surgery on somebody. That won't happen in our lifetime.
Can you imagine? Dude?
No, I don't think
That'll
so.
probably be the best fucking surgery ever, though.
Yeah, but they would have to be made like perfectly. You know how there's like recalls and shit on cars? And like on things like that, it's like, I don't know, the fucking engine blew up, so they're recalling them or whatever. It's the same thing for the robots. Like, doesn't have to be like tweaks.
Like, just like a malfunction. All right, get surgery bot in here. Comes in. Instead of like replacing the heart, just starts stabbing the fucking patient.
Malfunction, and just starts fucking stabbing
That's a
him, you know?
fucking lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah, but humans make those errors too. Like, people get like the other leg chopped off instead of like the right one.
I'm pessimistic about it, man. I think that the moment or the day where the technology gets to the point where we can make like really sentient AI that can replace a doctor or replace a clerk or some shit like that, I think that's where the world just comes to an end.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's where we just die, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We have no use.
We have no
What's
use.
our
We have no
use?
use anymore.
Like,
Like iRobot, they take over.
Exactly.
That
like,
shit scares me.
Like to the economy, we have no more use.
Yeah.
We have use to each other, like our lives.
We become the old model.
Yeah.
We become the Ford fucking Focus 2001. You know what I mean?
What would happen to us if you can't get work? What happens to the population that like so the
If
robots
you can't get work,
yeah,
crime, poverty,
but yeah, poverty.
and everything that comes with that, violence, death.
So they can't.
You know what I
They
mean?
can't.
But people are so curious, and I think that eventually they will want to do that to
You
the
can't
point.
have no humans working. Like
Can you
there would be the economy would not run. People have to make money to spend it.
Well, it's been the last 18 months.
But robots are not going to get paid. They don't
Exactly.
they don't have families to raise these robots. They don't have to go home.
Exactly.
And shit,
It's
they
so
just
much
gonna-
simpler.
Yeah, but it's not realistic because it's going to fuck up everything. Unless
Yeah.
they wipe out all humans to have robots, which wouldn't happen because you need humans to make the robots in the first place.
Humans create the mechanism of their own demise.
Not robots.
So does it scare me? Yeah, it scares the fucking shit out of me. If anybody wants to listen to someone much more qualified than either of us talk about artificial intelligence, I don't know if you know him, but Sam Harris is a neurosurgeon in the States, and he's a very critical thinker. He has like a lot of he has books and videos and shit. And he talks a lot about like AI and where it can go and where the idea of it stems from and why it makes people so curious. Because it basically stems from this idea that people are uncertain about where we come from. And so being able to create this whole other part of life or other form of life gives you the feeling it's like you're playing God, you know? And so you can have power over the creation of something, whereas we never had the power over the creation of ourselves.
Makes sense.
It's fucked. It's really cool. He has a lot of like good
But
good
for
videos and books on it.
like business wise, like it's just honestly, it's just like greed at the end of the day because you're just replacing your humans with your robots to not pay a salary and save money in the long run. That's literally corporations. That's the only reason why they would do it.
Yeah, but if you look like outside of the business world, let's say you make like a robot hooker, you know what I mean? Like an AI fucking
hookers are gonna lose their jobs after
a sex bot. Wow, dude, see what happened to OnlyFans recently?
Yeah, they're so stupid.
They're banning. Yeah, but it's not them. I was reading up on it. Apparently, and this is something that happens with every single streaming service that relies on sexually explicit content.
Yeah.
It's not even the company; it's the payment providers. So listen to how stupid this is, okay? Because I was so like flabbergasted when I read this. OnlyFans, the same thing like Patreon or any of these other like subscription-based services that deliver content are basically under the foot of the payment providers that they work with. So if you're a business and you accept MasterCard, Visa, and PayPal or whatever, MasterCard, Visa, and PayPal if they, in their own company, separate from your own, have a culture that looks down upon sexual activity or sex workers or whatever the fuck, or sexually explicit content, they can tell you and be like, look, we're not okay with this. If you don't take this off your site, we're pulling out and you can't have payments processed by us anymore for people for your subscription. So imagine now Visa and MasterCard and PayPal say, fuck you. If OnlyFans wants to keep the content, Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal say, fuck you. Nobody is allowed to pay with these forms of payment anymore on your site. What are you left with?
E-transfers.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's fucked up. And so that's why me too. I was like, OnlyFans, like, why the fuck would you do that if your whole business model was built off of this sexually explicit content?
Exactly.
And then I started reading up on it, and it's like, wow, it's the credit card companies and the payment providers who do this with every company. So even if all these people who were on OnlyFans jump to another platform, they'll make that platform bigger and bigger and bigger until the point where the payment providers, again, will be like, nah, like, take this off. We don't want this anymore.
Okay, so two things. Number one, like, I mean, they're losing out on a bunch of money, these providers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they take a fee from every transaction, obviously. And number two, do they still, like, work with, like, porn sites and shit? Like, how do you pay for, like, porn subscriptions? Through Visa and MasterCard? How is that any different than, like, fucking OnlyFans?
Yes, but I think, but like PayPal isn't one of them. Like I know it's mostly credit card companies. I have to look into this a little bit further to be honest with you. I've never actually paid for Pornhub and shit, so I don't know.
I know, but I'm saying you have to. Like, like payment methods are usually PayPal, Visa, MasterCard.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
two of the big credit cards come out, or Amex, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're gonna be okay with porn sites and not OnlyFans, it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. I don't know like the ins and outs of it, but that's what I was reading.
The ins and the outs of it.
Ins and all of the outs of it, because banking companies are more like conservative, technically speaking, and shit. I don't know.
This is only because of the time we live in right now. Because if this was in the 90s, they wouldn't give a flying fuck, MasterCard and Visa.
I just think it's like this whole idea of like sexually explicit content and sex work and all that type of stuff. As much as I rail on OnlyFans and shit like that, like, look, if you want to do it, you should be allowed to make the money that you want to make.
Man, you make so much fucking money. That's what you want to do. Go for it. Who gives a shit? People watch porn. What the fuck's the difference?
Exactly.
Like,
Dude, prostitution is the oldest, in any form, is the oldest job in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that you must have been able to like sell for money.
Yourself.
Aside from the leftovers from like the deer you killed or something, you know? Anyway. So, sorry to all the people who are on OnlyFans. Maybe we should just start doing like a fucking like sex segments on Beyond the Bench for anybody who's looking to give like sexually explicit content. I don't even think YouTube would allow that though.
We're gonna get like closed off in 2 seconds and lose all our followers because like we're to my stomach. Well, it's nothing crazy, you know.
All right, last question very quickly. Someone asked, would we ever have a fan of the podcast as a guest? I was
all our guests are fans.
I would hope so. I'd like to think that they are.
I just some guy comes on just like fucking trolls us the whole time. You guys fucking suck.
I'm curious about this actually. So I would like to think that all the people that we have on as guests are our friends and are also by that metric our fans. You know, write in the comments. Anybody who's watching this episode, write in the comments if, as a fan and you don't know us, you would actually be down to come on. And maybe we can do something. I don't know, like a fucking giveaway or whatever. I don't know. We'd have to look into it, but like have somebody on or whatever, like a winner of something. I don't know. If you guys be down for that, fucking comment. Who knows? That'd be fucking super chill.
Yeah.
I make so many more friends.
I love friends, but all our guests that were not our direct friends were pretty much fans, or knew about it and wanted to come on and join. Whether it's talk about their own stuff or with us.
What's also cool is that we're friends with them now after it.
Yeah, that too.
Like Chloe, I knew her a little bit or whatever, but you guys never knew her, and now we're like really cool friends. Christine came on, like I knew her a little bit. You guys didn't know, and like if you see her out, like it's chill.
Oh, for sure.
Like we've chilled and shit.
We build relationships.
Exactly. Far and wide relationship building with your two favorite hosts of Beyond the Bench.
It's good to network.
Yeah. Well, all that being said, thank you for tuning in to this Sunday midday edition.
I like this.
Of Beyond the Bench.
I'm very energetic on these days like this.
Very energetic, where we talk a lot about death for some reason. A lot of Google and a lot of death today.
It's okay.
If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe, hit the like, tell all your friends to do the same thing. Comment down below. We love seeing comments. It drives our inspiration. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, leave us a 5-star review. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a comment. Do all the good things that the different services ask you to do. For support, do all of those things. And also, if you have internet in your home, which I would hope that you do, there's a website that you can visit.
Beyondthebench.ca. Honestly, this might sound really like random, but I love our name. I find it just rolls off the tongue so beautifully.
It's an alliteration.
What is an alliteration exactly?
Things that have the same letters one after another.
But it's BTB though, it's not BBB.
Like a sassy schoolgirl is in the little alliteration. The is like a, what is it? The? It's like a fucking adverb pronoun or whatever the fuck. Like those don't count, you know? Like
Yeah, apparently when you write an essay in school, like all the us and the does and the is don't count.
And your word count?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So I was under by like a fucking 1,000 words every single paper.
You know how many does I read in an essay?
Why the fuck are you asking me for this many words? Like, can I just get my point across to you? Why do I have to like elaborate everything that I'm saying just because you want fucking 4,000 words?
Like you're just forcing me to just bullshit way more than
You know
I
what
have
I mean?
to right now.
Sometimes you're just there like, how can I fucking prolong the sentence for no reason? The plant was extraordinarily beautiful in the way the rays shone off its petals. It made me feel a certain bliss. And it's like, no, all I had to tell you was that the plant was beautiful. Like, I didn't have to elaborate that for another fucking 7 lines. Anyway, that was episode 92, the podcast about everything and absolutely nothing. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Justin will be on vacation next week. So
It's true. You know, technically...
No. Next week there will be an episode.
Yes,
the week
one
after.
Because
Yes.
it was record. Technically, we don't really have to miss one, but we're gonna because it's gonna be too tight. But yeah, so there'll be one next week. The one after there won't be one.
The week after next.
Which would be like end of mid-September.
Maybe I'll just like film myself like just talking.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
I never do these types of messages, but I feel like now the world requires me to make my statement on this given topic and talk about other people's given statements on this topic and how they feel and how it makes me feel in relation to their statements about this topic. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. We'll be back next week with a new episode every Friday at 9 a.m.